Gate Pass is under attack. The Regessian army arrived more expediently and violently than expected. They began bombarding the city with dragon bombs, harrying the Griffin Rider guards with attacking wyverns, and driving guards and civilians alike wild with fear, with a huge bat-winged creature. While making their way to the depository, the party engaged many people of aid, and helped most of them, saving a few lives and well-wishing a particular noble looking for his pet weasel. Arriving at the depository, the group met with the pug-faced gnome Funzbar Bite-Knee. However, the party quickly sussed out a magical ruse and discovered that this was not the real Funzbar. Dropping the illusion, an elvish man stood before them, flanked by a Solon, a celestial ball of light that attacked the party as he fled. The able adventurers pursued the elf, but he escaped using a potion of flight, soaring over the gated wall of the depository. Soon after, guards arrived and disarmed the crew. They soon found an unconscious Funzbar, the real one this time, hidden amongst more incapacitated officers. The school stands ready was the password Torrent gave to the gnome after he was roused, before he hurriedly shuffled the party outside. Once there, Funzbar revealed that he had been forced by the Regessian Inquisitors to keep silent about some precious information, all of which had been sealed into a box and stolen by Larian, the elvish male. Larian had a contact in Gabal's school in the city, a Shahalesti elf woman named Chialis. The next step was clear. Get the box from that elf at Gabal's school.
You guys were meeting in the streets. You were able to talk with Funzbar, as you said. And at the end, Torrent speaking to the group with Funzbar in arm. There's a temple safe house a few blocks away. Meet us there once you have acquired the box. This is what you are here for, please. We'll see you then. As you move away and continue on down the street, first thing that you notice is that most of the people are starting to have cleared the streets at this point. The initial thought is that they're probably starting to take shelter. Clear the streets, take shelter, figure out what's safe, and find a good spot to be. You also notice that the bombings have ended by this point. Instead, there is a kind of dramatic aerial battle that's occurring overhead, just on the border of the vision of those with the improved dark vision from Bryn. And you can watch from above as the wyverns are fighting these griffin riders back and forth, trying to maintain or gain air superiority over the city. Battle horns blare in the sky as the battle between the wyvern riders and griffin riders continues, and you watch as two flying shapes, one with the feathered wings and one with bat wings, cross paths overhead. A loud crack sounds out, and the bat-winged shape spirals out of control and crashes onto the roof of a building further down the street. A moment later, a shattered lance falls out of the sky with its tip having been snapped off, presumably in the neck of the wyvern that fell. As you continue down the street, you come across a rope tossed down from the roof of the building and into the street. The wyvern, you can tell, is laying on the roof, a broken lance tip in its throat, and the rider's tracks are easy to follow through the snow. Down the alley, less than 100 feet away, you find a trio of townsfolk dead in the snow. And from nearby, you hear the blood-curdling scream of a woman that suddenly stops before the cry of a child silenced by a thud.
I'm immediately going towards the noise.
I'm gonna
Swords drawn.
Run next to Winry and tap her shoulder and say, stay alert, and give her vigilant blessing, so you have advantage on the next initiative roll.
Okay. You run along, assuming that you're doing so all together.
Yes, 100%.
You follow the trail of footprints into a nearby house. You just crashing through at full speed?
Yeah.
Swords drawn.
As you crash through the mostly open door, you're met with a scene that you unfortunately probably expected. A orcish male is rooting through a nearby dresser, clothes tossed around in reckless abandon around the room. The bodies of a man and a woman lie nearby in pools of blood, and a young boy lies crumpled nearby his feet, the early signs of a bruise forming on his forehead. As soon as you crash through the door, the man, he starts immediately. You notice that he was just considering the buckles and snaps on his armor as you came crashing through, but he'll instead reach down, grab the mostly unconscious boy off the ground, and hold him up in front of him as the human shield and moves his axe towards his throat. Says, "Leave.
If we let you leave, will you put the boy down?"
Let me get changed first. They'll kill me in the streets.
Why are you wanting to get changed?
I have to get out of here. See a soldier. Everyone will fall on me.
Yes, they will. As will we.
Would I put the boy down?" Kind of holds the axe up once more. You can clearly see that he's in panic to some degree. He's also limping slightly, blood seeping through his armor down his leg. It's kind of dripping and leaving footprints on the boards inside.
We'll let you walk away.
I see that you are wounded. I can see to that. Just don't hurt the
heal
boy.
An enemy?
Well,
For this boy?
absolutely.
I don't trust you. Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Jack, you can have advantage on it too.
14.
He looks at you and he starts to consider the options. He says, "Stay outside. If you come in, he dies."
We'll stay where we are, but you have to come to us.
I have not. I don't trust you.
Then I'll do the healing from here. How about that? May I?
He'll allow it.
And I'll pull the whistle up to my mouth. This is what I use to heal.
He looks very suspicious, but he's allowing it. He hasn't
It is
attacked.
it is a magic spell, sir, and this is what I use to cast magic. I'm going to pull the whistle up to my mouth. I'm going to blow very high-pitched whistle, and the whistle is going to enter his head. I'm going to cast suggestion. I'm going to say, I suggest you put the axe down and come here so that no one else is hurt. It's a wisdom saving throw.
12.
Yes. He needed to roll a 13.
Nice.
Yikes.
Very nice. Yes.
He starts to kind of nod slightly. And you can say, okay. I'm trusting you. You'll keep your word, yes?
Of course.
He kind of sets the boy down on the ground. He's watching you all very carefully while he does so. And he slowly starts setting the axe at his feet and lets go of it and stands back up. I still need to get changed first.
Me heal your wound, and then we'll see about getting you out of here.
I'll bind it myself.
Very well.
May I move forward and heal the boy? And the parents.
He, as though kind of getting snapped out of some trance almost that he's in, he starts looking around at what's kind of the scene around him. He starts kind of breathing a little bit more shallow.
Can I just get a quick glance at the parent? Are they dead?
Make a medicine check. We'll say with disadvantage from the distance.
And Dustin, you're saying that the orc in front of us is snapped out of a trance?
Almost.
Yeah.
I wouldn't quite say like trance per se, but it's like he's looking around the room and he's almost realizing kind of what's going on, if that makes sense. He just like starts to breathe a little bit faster, a little shallower.
All right. So I can't tell if they're dead, so I'm going to say,
They look very still.
go! And he's going to fire a crossbow bolt at him.
I'm immediately gonna plunge one of my swords into him.
Go ahead. You guys can both make an attack.
I go to cover the boy.
Jack will yell out, "No!"
19 to hit.
19 does hit.
11. Max damage.
11. Very nice.
Yeah.
11 points of damage as it sinks in between kind of sections of his splint armor that he was considering taking off when you made the strikes. Go ahead and Myetharia, you can also make a strike.
I rolled 10.
10, unfortunately, though, does clang off the armor instead. Even kind of partial distraction there. He's still able to take the crossbow bolt, but it kind of deflect enough with his shoulder that it just glances the blow off. At this point, it will be time for us to roll initiative.
10. Put me in as 10, please.
Winry, what'd you roll?
14.
I'll enter it for you. You rolled that with advantage, too?
Yeah.
And Rayland?
19.
Rayland, you pierce him with one of your crossbow bolts, so you notice that he is already bleeding pretty substantially. It is your turn.
I'm going to keep my distance and fire another crossbow bolt at him.
Sure, you reload it, crank it back up, and shoot again.
21 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Ridiculous. 6 damage total.
6 damage total, even with sneak attack?
Oh, yeah, plus 3. So 6 total. I apologize.
So
No,
9.
9 damage. Yeah.
Still pretty sad, but it is a little bit more. As the second crossbow bolt takes him kind of in the other shoulder, he's reeling.
Okay, then I'm going to use my bonus action to sheath my crossbow. That'll be my turn.
Okay, sure. Sounds great. Winry, you are the next one to react.
I will hop over that mess of things, boxes, and head over to him. Give him a punch in the face. 12.
You're 12, not enough, as he's able to kind of recover from the crossbow bolts and starts to defend himself.
And then I'll try to punch him with my other hand. I think Winry might never punch again. 7.
All right, Winry runs up, kind of like looks really excited, really go get him, and then just kind of socks him twice in the arm and is like, got him good. Anything else, Winry?
No.
All right, Bryn.
I'm going to use my healer's kit and stabilize the boy. He is thus stabilized.
He is. His eyes kind of flutter open. I'm gonna give him consciousness too, just as for fun part. And you can tell that he has decent swelling kind of on the top of his head. While conscious, is still looking kind of groggy and out of it. But he looks out. He's like, "Hello, who are you?"
And then where did you say the mom and the dad were?
The mom's right behind you. The dead people that you passed initially were down in the street.
I'll sort of like huddle. I'll push the boy behind me, and I'm right by the mom, so I don't need to move closer. So that's all for my turn.
Myetharia, it's you.
All right, I'm going to take my 2 attacks on him. That's better. First one's a 17.
17 does hit.
That is a 7 for that. Points of damage.
Very nice.
And then the second hit is a 21. 5 points of damage.
Very nice. Yeah, he's looking very shaky on his feet after 2 more slashes from the swords. Unlikely to survive much more.
That's all I can do.
Jack, it's you.
All right, as I'm moving up, I'm going to pull out my short sword, and I'm just going to kind of hop over all the crashed debris, and I'm going to land right next to him. I'm going to point my sword at his chest region, and I'm going to say, stand down, and we will not end your life.
Make an intimidate check. Since he's so hurt and there's so many of you, go ahead and make it with advantage.
There we go.
Say that everyone is kind of with you.
18.
He was kind of in the process of like squatting down, kind of dodging and taking blows, squatting down to reach down and grab the battle axe that was at the ground next to him. And as you walk up and you say those words, you kind of level the sword at his neck. As you do so, he freezes. He's like, and he'll put his hands up, both of them, and bow his head slightly.
I have a bonus action still.
Sure. Yeah, it'd be an action to use the intimidate.
I'm going to cast Healing Word on him.
Go for it.
5 HP back to him, and I'll say to him, I am a man of my word. I said that we would let you go.
Is that the end of your turn, Jack?
But my sword is still pointed at him. Like,
Sure.
just in case.
That's the end of your turn, though?
Yep.
Okay. He will look up at you, and for a brief moment, he'll just kind of nod slightly, but then his eyes will start wandering, and he'll start to look around the room. And you can watch as his eyes kind of take in the boy with clearly had been hit with the haft of the battle axe and knocked unconscious. He'll look from him to the woman who's on the ground, cut, bleeding heavily at the very best, and it just kind of starts looking around, and his eyes start getting hollow. His mouth starts to like just drop open on its own. He starts looking. He's like, I'm sorry.
War and battle are terrible things, and sometimes we do things that we don't mean, but that doesn't mean that we're lost.
He'll just kind of kneel down, like he was already squatted, and he'll just kind of collapse to his feet into like sitting on his heels, basically, as his arms kind of go limp and just kind of drag onto the ground beside him. Rayland, it is technically your turn.
You get some sweet sneak attack, right?
I say that just in case, because I know you were wanting to put him down, so I'm giving you the option.
Let him go, you idiot. And he's going to walk over, and he's not going to draw his swords. He's just going to like kind of put a foot on his back and like push him to the ground.
Sure. There's little resistance as he just kind of flops down with your foot. Even as little as you are, it's very easy for you to push him.
Someone hand me some rope.
That's right, you used yours.
Yeah, I have some. I'll cut.
I'm going to look at Rayland. I'm going to say, we need to let him go, but he doesn't need to be armed. We don't want him hurting anyone else. But I don't think he will.
Jack, this man has killed countless people.
I'm gonna ignore him. Is Myetharia offering me a rope?
I am, yes.
Okay.
Depending on how enthusiastic Rayland wants to be here, you could probably cut like 5 feet of rope off.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool. And I'll give him a good tie. I'll give him a good hog tie.
Oh, I like it.
Tie the hands, tie the wrists, tie the ankles, and then a strap between them.
I'll stabilize the mom.
Roll a sleight of hand for that or something, Justin.
Yes, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
Oof, not good. That's a 9.
I'll give you advantage because you have a bunch of people around you who would be assisting and watching you do so.
All right, 24.
Very nice. You tie him up very well.
All right, can I just say while he was tying, I bent over and tried to help make sure the knots were done well, just like trying to help out. And I'll say, if we are not to let him go, then let's make sure that he is completely immobile.
Rayland will stop for a second, kind of look at him, and then look back down and resume what he's doing. That's actually, like, I can imagine him not doing a great job at first, and then after hearing Jack saying that, he, like, kind of redoubles his effort, or doubles his effort, and that's when he is able to really do a good old knot there. Just knot him up.
What shall we do with him? Really?
Hell if I know.
We don't have the time for this.
I agree.
You just leave him in the middle of the road.
I'm gonna look around. I'm just gonna look around for a second. Is there like a closet or something?
It appears that this is a fairly simple home. There's 2 bedrooms and then a main kind of common room that incorporates the rest of the house.
Is there any room that doesn't necessarily open to the outside? Like no windows, no anything?
There's 2 bedrooms.
Well, we could just leave him in the middle of the road so that the guards can get him.
That's not what'll happen, and Jack won't allow that. He'll just get murdered. While Rayland's looking around for a place to stow him, I'm going to look to the family and say, are you able to move?
Bryce, the boy, who introduces himself at this point, kind of rubs his forehead, but he starts looking around. He's like, I think I'm going to be okay. The mother is a little bit more out of it. She's just barely coming to consciousness at this point and looks like she could barely do much of anything. While stabilized, she's not really functional at this point in time.
I'm going to look to Bryce and say, Bryce, do you know where your mother kept your valuables?
Make a persuasion check.
Things.
Yeah, where are you going here, Jack?
All right, maybe I'll phrase it differently.
We are going to steal from you right now.
We need payment for what we've done. Thank you.
I'm going to say instead, if you know where your mother's valuables are, collect them, and you need to help her out of this building to another safe location. Do you think you can do that?
Where would we go?
Do you have neighbors?
Sure. Is it safer there?
Well, there's not a dragon creature that has crashed through the roof there.
There's nowhere that's safe right now?
Very few places. I want you to be away from this man, though he is very well tied. If he is to get loose, we cannot trust him to not hurt you.
How can we just let him be? He attacked us. We're just supposed to let him take our home?
I was of the same mind. Either we leave him in here and he gets loose at some point, or we take him outside and the guards dispatch of him. There are only 2 options here, and we know which one must be done. We can't just let him go.
This is their home. We can't kick them out into the street while all this is going on.
I will not stand by while another life is ended just because of a mistake.
If we don't end this life, many more will be taken by him. Do you not understand that?
Put him in the cart outside.
Yeah,
Put him under the cart.
In carrying him, we can drop him in a corner somewhere nearby.
I sigh and shake my head and reach down to grab him, and will take any assistance in dragging him outside.
Okay, I'll help. When you want to help, you won't have to roll for it, probably.
Let me handle this.
Is there, first before we go, is there anything on him?
The man? You want to try to rifle his pockets and such?
I'm going to just check his pockets quick.
No, he is just carrying his armor, his battle axe, and a light crossbow.
Yeah, make sure that the axe and the crossbow are left in the house, and then we'll take him out. We're going to cut off his armor and, like, leave him, so that his, at the very least...
Naked?
He's not naked. Like, without armor, you're not naked underneath armor.
At the very least, he won't be recognized.
Winry's like, I am.
He's very uncomfortable.
Winry is naked under her armor because she doesn't wear
She
any.
doesn't wear armor.
Exactly.
Monks don't.
Well,
I will agree to that. That sounds good. I'll pick up a dagger. I'll take it out and I'll help you work his armor off.
Okay, it takes some time, but beyond time, it is not difficult chore for you to do so. It seems as though he's putting up basically zero resistance at this point in time. And as you kind of are cutting things away, you can't help but notice the slight shaking and shudders, basically, that rack him. As you can see the slight roll of tears cutting through the grime and blood that's staining his face.
He's sad.
Yep. All right. Once we get his armor off, a couple of us can haul him outside and put him in a corner somewhere.
You bring him out and you kind of take him just around the corner and you kind of toss him there, basically leaving him behind in the gutter of the street corner.
We need to get to Cabal's.
As we leave, I will say to the guy, you did wrong, but you can do right. And then I'll turn and leave and go with everybody else.
The boy kind of waves to you a little bit and says thank you to Bryn as you guys take off and continue on down the road. It does take you a little bit of time from here to pass through the rest of the city. As you do so, you notice there's only a marginal change in what's happening above. You can still kind of hear in the distance the fighting a little bit, but it seems to have died down quite a bit. Most of the combat, it seems, in the air at this point in time. Every now and then you'll hear kind of the clang and clash of things from above, but there's no more thumps, there's no more bombing.
as we're making our way down over to Balls, I'm going to casually find my way over to Jack and say in a bit of a hushed voice, "Why did you do that? Why did you treat him that way? He's our enemy.
He's not my enemy.
Are you supporting Gate Pass or not?"
This man's blood was not going to decide the fate of Gate Pass.
No, but neither does any one of these other men who are flying around on wyverns. They are together Gate Pass's enemy. No single man will decide the fate of Gate Pass. That is why we work together.
I'm glad you agree with me. And I'll pick up my pace a little bit.
I won't pursue the topic any longer.
You are going to have to travel through a couple of districts in order to make it to Gabal's school at this point in time. So if there's any other conversations that you'd like to have on the run, you do have a little bit of time, probably about 10 minutes, give or take.
I'll drop back to Myetharia. I think you saw the same man that I saw, a broken, sorrowful man for his actions.
I don't know what you saw. I saw a scared, pitiful worm who was scared to lose his own life. Just like any man or creature that lives here with a knife to his throat.
Ending his life would not have reversed the injury that he had caused, and it would not stop the violence that we see around us. But kindness and mercy might just.
I think you don't know this world.
I certainly don't.
Kindness and mercy have little ground here. Killing this man would have prevented him from killing many others in the future. I don't know if he would go on in a peaceful life of a farmer. I don't know that. You're right. But we also don't know that he won't continue his wicked ways.
The same argument can be made for anyone.
But we know that these people are against us here, and we fight for Gate Pass. So why should we not, in turn, fight against that which is against Gate Pass?
Because sometimes killing isn't the answer. At least I don't think so. Do you think there's a possibility that letting him live might allow him to recoup his mistake and do better?
His mistake? He was following orders. Can you call that a mistake? You certainly can. But he's been taught to follow orders, and that is exactly what he will do, even if it means his own head.
I do not know if showing him mercy is the right thing or not, but it certainly feels like the right thing to me. And I would not expect you to do anything different than what you feel is right, and I hope that you can respect the same of me.
Well, Jack, I will try to, but we're trying to stop a war here. As I told you before, this is not some adventure we're on here. This isn't some little trip to have fun and see the sights. There are people who will be after us for our necks, and we must, to be able to save our own necks, be willing to take the lives of others.
Well, then I'm glad you're with me.
I'm having fun.
As we get closer to Gabal's, Rayland will speak up and say, "Who cares? He's tied up on a wagon in the middle of a street. He could be dead, he could be alive. Neither of you know. Myetharia, pretend he's dead. Jack, pretend he's alive. Who gives a
That is a very diplomatic way of looking at it, Rayland.
Well, Rayland, the point behind it is that this will not be our one and only occasion if we will be working together in the future. That we will come across a situation like this where we have the opportunity to spare a man's life or to take it. I'm trying to be diplomatic about it.
If it makes you feel better, he probably is dead right now because some guard found him and just gutted him.
Oh, I don't have any problem with how we left him. I'm sure some guard will find him.
Good. Then let's just move on.
We are.
Gabal's is ahead anyway.
Indeed. Let us go.
As you say that, Gabal's school rises kind of before you. It consists of a small campus with 2 50-foot tall towers and several smaller outbuildings, all surrounded by a moat and an iron fence. It is mockingly called the castle by those who don't like the school's pompous headmaster. As you approach the gate, I'm assuming you're just coming to the front gate unless you say otherwise. Okay. As you approach the gate, you can see a younger man with blue robes standing kind of in the door or the gateway, so to speak, right where it would be open. And he's kind of just leaning up against the wall there in the torchlight. He has a little bit of a paunch and a receding hairline, but he's leaning, like I said, against the inside of the gate while he smokes a cigarette in an attempt to stay warm.
Is it someone that I recognize?
Not particularly. You might have seen him around. Maybe.
How about this? Would I have any suggestions as to ways to get inside without going through the front gate?
You
maybe from a sneaky prank?
Done so before, but it was not easy. And you know that they have varying amounts of security. It's hard to know right now. Like, there's a lot going on. You could certainly climb the wall if you wanted to, but it would not be easy to do so.
I'll say, all right. He might not know me. Okay, I'll clear my throat and I will approach. And I will say, greetings, friend.
Before I approach, I'm giving you guidance.
At your approach, he'll speak back with you and he'll say, hey, what can we do for you?
Yeah, very, very warm greetings to you, friend. My name is John. And I'll kind of trying to be secretive, look at him and be like, we were told to meet Shayless here.
Indeed, she is rather expecting us, and we were told we should probably keep it on the down low, if you know what I mean, good sir.
Make a deception check.
I got it.
74.
22.
You mention her name, you can see his interest immediately vanish, and he rolls his eyes. He says, oh, really? Here to meet her? Jeez.
Well, she has a job for us.
Great.
Is what we heard.
I'm sure she does.
Are you saying there's someone more interesting we can meet here?
Basically anyone.
Oh. Who?
Whatever. If you're here to meet her, you can go see her. That's fine.
I'll say, thank you, sir. What kind service? What? I didn't catch your name.
Diogenes.
Whoa.
Are you with us right now?
I bet you Justin has a giant list of crazy names.
It's under a list called F*** You, Ryan.
Okay, so he'll let us pass. We're going to go past him.
He's going to walk with you, actually, but yes. Fine, I can show you her rooms if you are. What do you... Not even the first one's coming here. What's all the fun with her?
When he says that, Rayland's going to shoot a look towards Myetharia. Quick. Shake his head. And...
I'll simply say, oh, it's just a private matter that she needs dealt with.
Sure.
Nothing too important.
Great.
Who else came to see her?
It was some elf guy and her familiar came back.
Her familiar.
Just him?
Yeah, just they came by 10 minutes ago, something like that.
Oh.
Probably still here. I haven't seen him leave.
Oh, that's good to know. I haven't seen him in a while.
So our timing is correct then.
That is probably Larian.
Yes, I haven't seen him in quite some
I don't
time.
know. Didn't ask his name.
It'll be good to see him.
Diogenes, do you mind if you just point the way? We can take it from here.
I'd rather not, but I'll show you where, and then I'll leave. Don't worry.
Much thanks.
As he lets you inside, you notice that one of the 2 stone towers in the background is cracked, as though seemingly from a bomb during the night. There's also 2 corpses, one of a griffin and its rider, floating in the moat nearby where they landed. You notice a kind of greasy-looking student walking forward who's like, hey, would you perhaps be of help in dragging those corpses ashore for some experimentation? Diogenes quickly, get out of here. They're not here for you. Go away. And he's, excuse me. Sorry. And then he kind of shoots Diogenes a glare and a look at his back as you guys continue on through. I don't know how often you've been here. Said you have business with her after all. But you've been here before.
It's been a little while.
I have never been in Gabal school.
Make a deception check with disadvantage.
You just wanted to make deception check at disadvantage.
Yeah, he's really asking for it.
13.
He looks at you and he's like, well, I feel like I know you. You kind of see him as he's kind of staring at you.
I play in a lot of pubs.
No, you're that guy. Did that thing. Paul hates you. You know that? He looks happy. Like he's like lit up a little bit by recognizing you. Like,
is he lit up in like a positive way?
That's really
like...
funny. I'll tell you that.
All right. All right. Yes, that was me. I'm glad that you found humor in it. So did I.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't help it. They're all kind of snobby. You know the type.
Aren't they?
All big into all this evocation and blowing shit up. Nobody likes the subtlety anymore.
I believe that you and I will be fast friends. I agree with you in every way.
Not while you're here, at least, but maybe other places.
I will happily buy you a drink if I see you out in the world, sir.
Looking for a chalice. I mean, what are you doing for her? Just kind of shakes his head like he's repeating himself. Disappointing.
Why don't you like her?
She's a prick.
That's a good reason, I suppose.
Well, we're not going to see her because we like her.
And she was a favorite. I mean, she ticks all the boxes for the schools. You know, she's a blaster. You know how it is. Kind of gives you finger guns as he says it. Says, well, it's a little bit more empty here than normal, but not many people are still around.
And why are there so few people here?
Cabal himself vanished, along with some of the top students.
Was this in the night?
With the battle?
Yeah.
Oh.
Good heavens.
I mean, some of the other higher ups also, I've heard at least talk that they're trying to escape, so we'll see how that goes.
Escape or fight?
Yeah, some of each probably, but I know some of the talk was at least of getting out. The Scourge has them all on edge, you know? Big deal.
To be sure.
But
Why
yeah, I
didn't
mean,
you go?
only a handful of students still here. Mostly kind of basic and evokers. The low end of the students. People who have nowhere to go.
And you?
No, I mean, got nothing better to do.
And do I believe him?
Yeah, I believe him.
I mean,
like this guy.
to some extent. He just, he seems like an affable person for the most part.
Just going with the flow.
He just doesn't see a need to go anywhere. Well, he can bring you to kind of one of the outlying buildings. Actually, no, he'll bring you to the main tower. I'm wrong. Sorry. No, he brings you to one of the outlying buildings. I'll try once more to say the right thing.
You have one job, Justin.
It is Diogenes leading us around after all. He probably forgot.
kind of bumbled around just for fun, just to spite.
I forgot that stairwell's closed.
Just to spite Shialis a little bit. And he'll bring you to the dormitories and he'll kind of crack the door and he'll say, hers is fifth one on the left. I'm sure you'll be able to tell.
Thank you.
He'll probably.
Thank you, Diogenes. You are a wonderful fellow.
Yeah, I mean, don't tell her I sent you. She might be mad.
We found our way on our own. Wink, wink.
Yeah, I'll be waiting at the gate if you need me. Don't need to see her.
Let's kind of enter, and then I'm gonna say, "Wait here. I'm gonna go scout out ahead."
I'll give him
Fifth one.
guidance before he goes.
As long as you keep out of sight, please.
I'll tap him on his shoulder and I'll say, "Stay safe."
I'm gonna move quietly down the hall, slowly and quietly. And I mean, I don't know if there's anything I can duck into or duck behind, but maybe I'll keep an eye out for those types of exits as I go. So
It's a pretty straight hallway. I mean, it's think of it like a hotel basically, where it's just like there are doors along the way, and it's just a hallway.
I'm also going to keep an eye out for any kind of like traps or alarms.
While we're waiting, I'm going to give Vigilant Blessing to Jack.
Oh, thanks.
Okay.
I'm going alphabetical order.
Make an investigation check, Rayland.
14. Yeah.
You notice as you're kind of going along that almost all of these doors appear to be silent within. I mean, it might be one thing during the night for all of them to be dark and quiet and all this sort of stuff. But with what's going on outside, you doubt that there's many people who are just like taking a nap and snoozing or anything like this. All of these places are still dark and cold, as though the whole building has been abandoned.
What about Shayla's door?
Shayla's door, as you start to get closer, is closed currently, but you can see the light kind of sneaking through the crack at the bottom of the door.
I'm going to actually move back to the crew and motion to them silently, like finger to the mouth, and then kind of say, let's move with my hands. Like, let's go.
Kind of beckon them.
We'll join him. We'll Scooby-Doo crew tiptoe.
Sure. I'm not going to make you roll a stealth to get near the door because Rayland didn't get all that close to it. So you'll still be like a door or two down, basically, from where you are here. If you start to get any closer than that, you will start to roll stealth checks at that point.
I'm going to try to direct them into breach formation. So Myetharia and... So he's going to be making like hand motions. He's going to like... I wish I could have my camera open on so I could show you, but he's going to be making hand motions essentially to try and direct. Myetharia is probably going to know what he's talking about pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So breach formation. She's going to take kind of point with Winry also point, and then we'll set up. So essentially, they can go first and just bust through the door.
Everyone who's getting closer than 2 doors away has to roll a stealth check.
I'm assuming I'm at the back of the breach, so I probably don't need to roll a stealth check.
Stealth is not my strong suit, so I'm going to stay back too.
I will go forward.
14.
This is a 7.
Okay, so they hear us coming. We probably got to move fast.
Yeah, I got an 11.
You start to kind of sneak along, and unfortunately, you not knowing like the layout, not knowing the floor at all or anything like this, you guys are not the sneakiest bunch of 3 as you start making your way further closer to the door. You can start to hear the noises of motion from within. It's loud enough in the hallway that they can kind of make out that someone's coming at least.
Let's go. Let's go. We're going to run in there. I'll go first. Why not?
Swords drawn.
You guys come busting into the doorway. You can go ahead and roll the initiative right now. Yep.
Yeah, it's 8.
Honey, I got a 1.
You guys kind of bust into the room. It is a rather spacious, kind of large, open apartment. It has some exterior windows as well. Rayland busts in the door and sees the blonde-haired elven woman who is packing things up into a backpack or a satchel at her desk there, but had since turned around, grabbed her component pouch, and was prepping to fight with whatever came bursting through the door at this point in time. You can also note the elven man, who you presume is Larian, off to the side, who was previously sitting at the table and has now also similarly stood up and drawn his rapier. Myetharia, Winry, you are both kind of the quickest 2, so whichever of you would like to go first, you can feel free to.
You can go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to move in. I'll be able to see both of them.
Yep, you can start to see that, and you can also pick out the familiar kind of glow of that Solon
Yes,
off to the side. The man, the elven man, does look to still have some wounds, as though he was not able to kind of take the time to heal himself in this manner, but he is still up and alert despite them.
I'll take my 2 attacks on her. I rolled another 5, so that's only 10 to hit.
Does not hit. She's able to simply dodge out of the way to the side as you come charging towards her.
All right, I'm going to take my second
Sure.
hit on her. No, that's a 2, so 7. Nope.
Not able to make good contact. The blonde elf woman has blue eyes that flicker like shining sapphires, pale skin glowing like snow. She wears concealing red robes, but you can definitely see the metallic gleam of chainmail that peeks out from her collar. She also has very silver gloves on at the same time, but she is able to quickly and easily evade both of your strike. Winry, it's you.
I'm gonna do a spin move and kick her in the face.
Go for it.
15.
15 does hit.
7 damage.
7 points of damage from the first fist.
Gonna
Go for
punch
it.
her. Ooh, 22.
That does hit.
4 damage.
Still two solid strikes, 2 hits. You know, she's wearing chainmail, so you're punching chainmail effectively at this point in time. But you know,
Hurts.
she's still taking damage. That's good. Anything else, Winry?
No.
Jack, it is you. You'll have to take your first move basically to get to where Rayland is at the doorway.
Rayland's halfling, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna shoot over his head.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast. I am going to reach out. I'm gonna blow on the whistle, speak out to her, and say, "We are here on innocent reasons. You wouldn't want to hurt us, would you?" Casting vicious mockery on her. He's gotta do a wisdom saving throw.
This sounded more like a
Yeah,
suggestion.
it wasn't exactly mockery, but sure. That's a 23
But
to
that's
save.
Yeah, she good.
Maybe because your mockery sucked.
It was pretty bad.
The next thing that will occur then is that the Solon, this bright beacon off on the side here, is going to make 2 light ray attacks, and it is going to shoot 1 ray at each of Winry and Myetharia at this point. Wow, that's a natural 1 and a natural 2. So those are both going to be awful.
Solid.
So I'm not even going to worry about it. They both go wild. It's a little surprised by your immediate entry suddenly. The next thing that happens then, though, is that Larian is going to step forward from behind. He's going to raise up his rapier, and he is going to attempt to stab at the back of Myetharia. 15 to hit.
Dead on.
It's some of Rayland's skill, it seems. And so with the nice attack from behind, 14 points of piercing damage.
Yikes.
Boy.
Oh,
Kind of glints a smile towards the doorway after he stabs and says, "Shouldn't have followed. I tried to warn you."
She's not looking very good.
That's the end of his turn. At this, then, the elven woman will reach into her component pouch and she will bring out a few small items within her hand. A flaming sphere erupts in the doorway right in front of Rayland. A 5-foot diameter sphere of fire appears in the space right in front of the doorway. She will also command it forwards and will attempt to smash it into you, Rayland. Please make a dexterity saving throw.
15.
You are able to evade the sphere as it comes flying at you. You do still take a little bit of damage. Oh, just 1 point of fire damage as you're able to mostly evade it. And just kind of take a little bit of a singe to like the end of your finger as you dart out of the way. She'll hop over here. Winry, if you would like to, when you're able to. I know you're... when you get back, you can make a attack of opportunity if you'd like on her as she leaves. She's going to also continue onwards and upwards. And then she'll hang out right there for the time being, actually. That is where she can get to. That is the end of her turn. Rayland, it is yours.
All right. Can I move through the sphere?
You can, but you'll probably risk... so go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw again.
14.
It's still a success. Take this time 2 points of fire damage as you just kind of dart through it. Get singed a little bit more, but not too much as you make your way through.
I like the idea of it like kind of coming to him, and he kind of does this like
Limbo.
crouch down, like spin move underneath it as it tries to like kind of aim for his head. Anyway, so like make it a fluid like ninja.
Yeah, I like
movement. So he gets in there, draws his rapier. I'm going to try and go for Shalal first. Or Shalis first.
Go for it.
No, that's a 1, so I'm not gonna really get at it. But I was really just using that as a feint.
Sure,
anyway.
totally.
Because I want to try and snatch her pouch.
Go for it. Make a sleight of hand check.
25.
Is enough. She has an 18 on hers to retain it. And so you are able to rip free the component pouch. You do know that she still has some of them in her hand at this moment in time, though. But the remaining of them you have snatched from her.
Jack saw all of that and is definitely like got to pick his mouth up off the ground.
I'm going to stay right on top of her.
Okay.
Why not? Let's do it.
Bryn, it is you. You're last.
I want to do my Twilight Sanctuary and get that
Go.
up.
Your purple aura emits from you.
I'll end my turn and then I take my temporary hit points.
At the top of the round, Myetharia, it will be your turn. Cialis will say, "This is foolish. You know not what you're doing."
Humor me.
I'm going to use my bonus action to use my second wind. That's 6 plus my 3. Okay. So I have added on 9 hit points. So
Very nice.
how is his name? Larian?
Weird.
He certainly
Man.
looks hurt, but he's not like on death's door quite or anything like this.
I'll make an attack out of him.
All right, go for it.
I rolled a 1.
Unfortunate.
All right, and then I'll just say to her, "Yes, humor us. Why don't you explain to us what we don't understand about you stealing prized information out from under us?" And that's my turn.
All right, Winry.
I'm going to kick him in the
Him.
neck. 24.
That definitely hits.
4 damage.
Still 4 more than he had before.
Kick him again. 24.
Hits again.
6
points. All right,
Yep.
2
Nice.
solid strikes. Anything else that you'd like to do, Winry?
Oh, attack of opportunity.
Oh, yeah. You,
When
yep,
she
you
moved
can attack
past
her.
me?
Go for it.
Oh, 24.
That also hits.
4 damage.
Not very good on the damage rolls,
Yeah.
but 3 strikes, they all land at least as you continue to put in a little bit of chip damage. Anything else, Winry?
Nope.
Jack, it's you.
Scooch past it as best I can.
Make a dexterity saving throw if you're going through it.
Try to do what Rayland did and see how cool. See if I
Sure.
can be as cool as him.
Yep.
18.
You do look pretty cool. You suffer the similar 2 points of fire damage as you kind of pirouette your way into the room.
I'm going to pull out my whistle, my diviner, and I'm going to blow a really high note, and it's going to blast right at Larian. Dissonant whispers. So he hears this racking, horrible sound in his brain that he knows is coming from me. So he's got to make a wisdom saving throw.
Bad. 7.
He takes 7 psychic damage,
Okay.
and he must immediately use his reaction to run away as far
Very
away
nice.
from me as he can go.
Ooh, that's nice.
Which should hopefully mean the other two get to.
You both just had your turn, so you do both have your reactions if you'd like. Winry and Myetharia.
Yeah. That is a 2. Oh, my
jeez.
gosh.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Doesn't sound
7
good.
to hit, so no.
Yes. 17. Ooh, 7.
Nice.
Very nice. 7 points of damage as he bolts, looking concerned over his shoulder. Kind of runs to the far side of the table where he has the table between you and him. Next up at this point then is going to be the Solin's turn, and the Solin is going to begin to make attacks against the person who has assaulted its owners the most. So it's going to shimmy over to this direction. It's going to make one against Winry, one against Myetharia again. Another 1 against Myetharia. Winry is only a 13 to hit for you. I think that also probably misses. Perfect. She said yes in case anyone's curious.
Sweet.
So both of these beams go awry as well, as it's unable to find purchase on either of you.
Nice work, everybody.
It is then Larian's turn next. He suffers no ill effects, I'm assuming,
Nope.
afterwards. So
He's
he will
good to
then take his move. He's going to dive back in, and with the rapier, he's going to attempt to plunge it back into Myetharia. That is a 17 to hit.
That hits.
All right. He still has an ally next to you. Oh, jeez.
much
The rapier
damage?
plunges in deep. It does, 22 points of piercing damage.
Okay, she's on the ground. Yeah, she's on the ground.
He looks towards Winry next and says, "Don't make the same mistake." At this point, with Myetharia down, it is Cialis's turn. So she's going to just withdraw from you, Rayland, not disengaging.
That's a 16 to hit.
16 does hit. You do not have sneak attack though, because Myetharia is down.
Yeah, I understand. 6 hit damage.
6 points of damage. You scrape across her armor once more, continuing to kind of weaken things. She is going to pull back to where Larian went to, far side of the table, to get a little bit of distance and a little bit of space. She's going to use her bonus action, immersion, to the sphere will start moving once more, and it is going to park itself past the furniture You can see that the chair that it kind of went over starts on fire a little bit, just a little bit of flames across it, and then it'll park it just kind of as a ward between her and the party a little bit. At the end of this move, she is going to ram it into Rayland. So go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
7.
This time you're unable to avoid it quite as easily. It's 7 points of fire damage as it bashes into you. And then she will, with her action, cast Fire Bolt at Rayland as well. 16 to hit.
That hits.
9 points of fire damage.
Oh, that sucks. I'm down.
Well, this is not good.
With that, yeah, Rayland,
Yeah, the two top
Rayland
people go
drops.
down. We all look at each other like, oh no.
Oh, really?
And she'll say, it's not worth your lives. Let us go. Rayland, you can go ahead and make your first death save.
All right, that's 11.
That is a success. Bryn?
I'll stabilize Myetharia
Okay.
with my action. And that's all I got.
You are stable, though not conscious currently,
Right.
Myetharia.
Right. Okay.
So on your turn, nothing happens because you are just laying there. Winry, it will be your turn.
Do either of them look hurt?
Larion looks quite injured. Shialis has had a couple of stabs, but nothing too significant at this point in time.
I will hit him. 22.
Nice.
That definitely hits.
7 damage.
Very nice. He's looking quite rough.
And again.
Go for it.
Ooh. 10.
10 does not hit. No, the second one he is able to evade, but he is looking battered, bruised, and limping quite a bit.
Okay, that's it.
Okay.
You get 7 temporary hit points.
Okay.
Jack.
To pull up the diviner, whistle a soothing tone. I'm casting Healing Word on Rayland.
And you get 5 temporary hit points on top of that.
5 HP.
So 5 true HP, 5 temporary.
I'm going to say, I will teleport Myetharia to safety. And I'm going to blow on my diviner and cast minor illusion on Myetharia and try to make her look like the floor.
Oh my goodness.
You can step on her.
Sure. Yeah, sure. I'm fine with that. The downside to this is that he's going to have advantage on it just because
Oh, that's fine.
for shadows and things like this, there is still a body there. Like depth perception wise and shadows and all this sort of stuff. There's still something there.
All right, I'm good with that. I just don't want him to see her as an easy target and just finish her off. That's it.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
11.
Take 8 points of fire damage as you are still near that flaming sphere and it is hot. The Solin's turn next. It is going to make 2 shots, both at Jack, who is walking towards it. 10 and a 20 to hit.
Yeah, 10 misses, 20 definitely hits.
The ray strikes you then, the one of them at least. It deals 6 points of radiant damage as it does so. And then it will slide its way right here, trying to block your access to Shialis. That is the end of its turn. Larion's turn next. So he is going to attempt to stab Winry with his rapier. 20 to hit.
Yep.
He does not have an ally next to you, however, so it is 9 points of piercing damage.
Eesh.
The rapier still strikes true. He's then going to disengage, and he is going to move his way over to the other side of the room, getting a little bit of distance and a little space between him and his allies. Shialis's turn. She is going to move the orb. She's going to bop it into Bryn, actually. Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw.
4.
2 points of fire damage, as it does just kind of scalds your fingertips a little bit. She is then going to cast Magic Missile. She is going to direct all of the pieces towards Bryn.
Yeah.
5, 3, and 2 points of damage, so 10 points of force damage total.
Okay.
She's going to kind of look towards the rest of you. She sees 2 of you down, though she saw 2 of you down. One of you is still conscious afterwards, but still. She'll say, "It is not worth your lives. Let us go. We have business." That is the end of her turn. Rayland, it is yours.
Well, I'm gonna wake up, drag myself to my feet, and say, "You're traitors. I'm not going to listen to you, and I will not let the military intelligence fall into Regasian hands." Draw his crossbow and fire at Larion.
All right, go for it.
+5, so 18 to hit.
18 does hit.
8 damage.
8 damage.
Yeah.
With the last thunk of the crossbow,
right.
Larion does fall on the side of the battle.
Nice job.
Progress.
Yield. We have you outnumbered. I'm gonna attempt to hide behind Jack there.
Okay, make a stealth check.
24.
All right, perfect. Very nice. We'll see what her role is in the future, but you have attempted to hide while you have cover.
I started to run like I was running over here. If you can imagine,
Sure.
a camera tracking Rayland, and it keeps going past
He's
Jack,
not
but then all of a sudden he's not there.
So you're going to
How
get
you-
temporary hit points from Bryn, and then you're going to have to make a dexterity saving throw.
How many did he have before? Does it say on there, Justin?
5.
I had 5.
Okay, so 7 now.
Go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw also. This is at a +5
Why am I making a dexterity saving throw?
because you are still adjacent to the sphere.
16.
Okay, very nice. You
Nice.
still do take 5 points of fire damage, though.
Oh.
So you would have taken the 7 after that was gone. So it would have taken your 5 because it's at the end of your turn.
Bryn, it is your turn.
I'm going to shoot a sacred flame at Shayalis.
Nice.
So it's a dex save.
That is a 10.
Woo!
Nice.
One.
Is that a 1?
Oh my gosh. you
One
come
hit
here.
point. I just want to move this way.
All right, you back up a little bit.
That is all.
Myetharia, it is you. You make your
Can't
first.
use-
You're stable right now. Jack walked up and made her kind of look stone-ish.
I cast
So-
Illusion.
I cast minor illusion just to make her look like the floor.
Right.
Is everyone still attacking her?
So
Yes.
far,
Okay.
she's taking it well in stride.
I will use Ray of Frost cantrip. 10.
She's able to dodge out of the way of your ray of frost. She seems practiced almost in fighting enemies who are casting spells at her.
Then I'll look around for the case.
All right, make we'll say it's an investigation check.
20.
You look around and you see no sign of a fancy looking black box or anything similar to that around here. What you do notice is that she appeared to be in some amount of hurry in terms of packing. And so she had some backpack and satchels and things like this that she was in the process of packing things into when you guys came in. And so there's some stuff on her desk. Nothing that seems as large as the box that you were supposed to be looking for, however. Jack, it will be your turn.
I'm going to let the diviner fall down back under my tunic. I want to jump up on the table.
Make an athletics check.
Oh.
Natural 20.
You're on that table with confidence.
I'm jumping up on the table athletically.
Both feet.
And as I jump up, I'm going to pull out my short bow. Once my feet placed on the table, I'm then going to jump and try to cartwheel in the air and fire my bow at what's-her-face and land there. It's a bunch of things.
Sure. I mean, you jumped up on the table just fine. I will allow you to jump off the table in any way that you would so choose. So go for it.
14?
Glances off the chainmail underneath her
Too much
her robes, and it scoots off towards the sink instead.
Maybe you didn't expect Jack to be so athletic.
Yep. I'm clapping and jumped up and down.
Both beams will once again shoot towards you, Jack. Neither of them is going to be hitting you, though. Those are very poor. 7 and 10.
Shot at me while I was doing the flip. Parkour.
Shialis is going to take one more step, and she's going to reach into the cabinet behind her and will pull out a small item, and then she will turn around and say, "Last chance, let me go or you all die." And she will prepare a spell. You can tell that she is preparing a spell, but she is holding it for the time being. Rayland, it will be you.
I'm going to attack her.
As soon as you take one step forward, she launches a fireball in the middle of the group.
Say you fireball?
She gave you lots of warnings, and so a fireball launches forward from her hand. It lands basically on the the sphere on the ground and erupts in flame in all directions.
Awesome.
All 5 of you make a dexterity saving throw.
I believe I automatically fail that.
You do, and this one's enough that it's actually going to matter.
Rolled a 20.
I rolled an 18.
19.
Very nice. Raylan?
14.
14. You all do save except for Myetharia, unfortunately. Myetharia, you can take 1 death saving throw. The rest of you take 15 points of fire damage.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm down.
Except for distraction.
Rayland is burning. Winry, you doing okay?
Yep.
Okay. Bryn and Jack also still fine.
Still up.
I'm still up.
Rayland, at the end of your turn, you can make your first death saving throw.
12.
Okay, so first success again. Bryn, it is your turn.
I don't know how I would know this, but does Myetharia have to continue to make death saving throws now? Like she's no longer stable?
She is not stable. Just because of her being on fire at this point in time, like her actual clothing is on fire. I think it's fairly clear that there's still a body or at least something there on the ground that's on fire. Up to you how you want to determine that.
I mean, she probably still looks like the floor, but there's a body-shaped lump on the floor that is also on fire.
I'm going to stabilize Myetharia. That's all I got. My temporary hit points.
Winry, it is your turn.
Punch.
Who, her?
Uh-huh.
Okay, go for it.
24.
Does hit.
7.
All right, the sphere maintains.
Punch. 11.
11 does not hit. The second one, she's able to dodge out of the way of.
That's it.
All right, Jack, it's you.
You take 9 temporary hit points.
I'm
Okay.
going to drop my short bow and pull out my short sword and regretfully stab at her.
Okay, go for it. That'll be your bonus action to do the switching.
10.
Wow.
Unfortunate. She's able to evade you as well. You know, Muhammad Ali in the corner a little bit.
I really didn't want to hit her,
Yeah,
so it
as a
works
true
out.
character.
Are you done?
Yeah.
7.
That's it.
Solon will continue to cast Raise now at Winry. To 14. Winry, does that hit you? All right, they both miss as she says no from the distance. That is all it will do on its turn.
Great.
And kind of hear some croaking and gasping from behind you as Larian is slowly dying in the background. It is then Cialis'
Too
turn.
bad.
Yeah, she's going to look at you guys all once more and say, "You will not survive another."
Did she take damage with that?
She did not.
But it's 30 feet. Isn't fireball 30 feet
has
radius?
the ability to sculpt spells.
Oh, you dumb biddy.
Says, "You will not survive another." And she readies once more a spell within her hands. Leave now while you can.
Can I respond, or do I need to wait for my turn?
Yeah, go for it. You can say something.
I'll say, all right. There's no need for more bloodshed. It is clear that you are more powerful than we are. Let us leave, and we will harass you no longer. And I kind of like sheath my sword and put my hands up.
All right. Rayland, you haven't been stabilized yet, technically, right?
No.
He is
So-
not.
It's still a death saving throw for you.
See, I rolled 17.
All right.
Nice.
2 successes. Bryn, it will be you next.
I'm going to stabilize Rayland.
With the kit.
Yeah.
All right. You stabilize him. He
A
is
few more of those.
not looking good, but he is no longer dying, at least. Anything else on your turn, Bryn?
So I'm going to ask her, where are you taking the information? We're trying to help the resistance. Aren't you part of Gates Pass? Don't you want to help the city survive?
She'll kind of smirk and smile at you and say, "It's never a part of this city. Taking it home." Sorry, Winry, it will be you next with whatever you would like to do.
And I've got my sword sheathed and my hands up.
Is she hurt?
Thumb.
Does she have anything with her? Right now?
She has one like satchel around her shoulder that has something within it, though nothing big. It's like a purse basically that she has with her.
I'll say I'm backing up to let you pass. And then I'm gonna back up.
Okay. She will not do anything. She is holding a spell currently.
Okay.
I can say in good faith she could have moved the orb away from both of you just to not have to worry about it. Okay, you back up. Jack, would you like to do anything?
Just say that we only wanted the information to stop further bloodshed. I believe enough blood has been shed so far today. Please let us go. Or we'll let you go, and I'll let her make a move.
Some of each. Are you going to back up, or are you going to stay next to her?
Yep, I'll back up.
You back up across the room. The Solon will kind of drift to her shoulder, or near her shoulder, basically, and will just kind of sit there protectively, realizing and taking up her posture of defense, but defiance. And then you hear from behind you, Bryn, as you're kind of looking forwards and watching everything else that happens, you can hear the kind of last death rattle gasps from Larion behind you as he expires. As she looks over towards him, she sighs and kind of shakes her head and says, "You've cost me more than you know tonight." But she will hold the spell and move towards Jack and Winry and say, "Move, please. I must collect the rest of my things and I will be gone."
I'll step aside. While she's collecting her things, I'll still have my hands up and I'll say, Shahalesti must be paying handsomely for this information. My father could pay you more.
She looks at you kind of interested. She says, "A cute proposition, but unfortunate that I have other business." And she will begin to kind of place a few things within her satchel, and full of little potions. A book that she grabs that looks similar to like a spell book. And with that, with the few things that she has on her, the potions and that spell book, she begins to make her way past Winry towards the door unless someone has stopped her. She still has a spell readied in hand in case someone attempts to lay a hand on her.
I'll say one more of, is it Lord Shaladel that's paying you for this information? And I guess I'm looking for like a reaction or like a look of recognition or something.
She'll say, "You think highly of me. I can say this. If you really need this information later, speak to Clathan. You can try to find them. If you can find Clathan, I'm sure that they can help you."
Thank you. I am sorry for the loss of your man.
She eyes over you towards the unfortunately dead body behind you, says, "I won't forget it." And she steps out of the room with the Solon at her back, and the flaming sphere winks out nearby. You can hear the click of her shoes as she leaves. And it is at this point that we will end tonight's session.